Evening, everyone. I just want to make sure, real quick, if anyone can hear me, and then we'll get started. All right. I'm about to go ahead and start I'll have a slideshow real quick that will just go through a few things, and then I'm going to switch over to one of the programs that I use, and it is Radar Omega, and we will go through a little bit of the models, the weather models, and I'll explain a little bit why I haven't shown it anything yet. So, and then after that, we're going to go and kind of dig deep into there's a experimental thing that the National Weather Service does that will show you just a little bit of how much ice we're going to get and how much snow we're going to get. All right, let's get started. I know a few of you that have done live streams with me before. There is going to be a new thing. I'm actually going to show you that I'm not an AI. I'm actually a real person. So let's get started. All right, hey everyone. I don't know if you know me. I am Mackenzie, and I am the owner and the meteorologist of Sumner Severe WX. And I'll explain a bit more about what Sumner Severe WX is and the T Spotter program, but I know what you all are here for, and that's this crazy winter storm that's coming. So let's get started. Don't mind me if I looked over here. I have several screens popped up, so I'm going to be looking at what and moving the slides along. I'll get my teacher into me real quick. So, as you know, earlier today, the National Weather Service upgraded our winter storm watch to a winter storm warning. And you can see us right here, Sumner County, and we are in that winter storm warning. And I'm going to explain just a little bit on what a watch, the warning, and the advisory is. But this will start about midnight Saturday, and it will go all the way until 6 p.m. on Sunday. I don't know for sure if they'll extend it or if they will cancel it, because I know most of the times when they do issue tornado watches, they tend to cancel those early. This situation will be probably a little bit different, and it will be more how much ice we get and how much snow we get. So we're really playing it by ear. All right, let's go. So I want to kind of teach y'all a little bit about what winter storm products are and like what a watch is, what an advisory is. The first thing that the National Weather Service really issues is the advisory, but our office skipped that because they're confident in a winter storm happening. It's already past low, and it was all the way up to a medium level. So that's why they went ahead and issued the winter storm watch. And this is where the confidence is medium that it'll happen with heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain, and cause serious impacts. The watch typically happens about, I want to say, 3 to 4 days ahead of the event. And then, as you could tell earlier today, the winter storm watch became a warning. And that is when the event is about 24 to 48 hours away. Most of y'all want to know timeline. And I will go through this little slide real quick and kind of explain, but then it's really best for me to show you on the models after all this. But I had several questions, and once again, I'll do a Q&A after I go through all this. I just want to get the main points out first of all, and then if anyone has any questions, I'll definitely answer that later on afterwards. So I got a question before: what time is it really going to start? Well, when you want to talk about the event is really going to start Friday afternoon. So, tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be mainly in the evening when light snow develops. Some models say snow, some say it's going to start raining on tomorrow night. It it's one of those where it we will see when it gets here. Yes, models can show, oh, it's going to do this, it's going to do this. Winter storms are actually one of the hardest things to forecast. Trust me, I know. I'm actually a meteorologist, a degree meteorologist. I'm actually going to grad school right now to finish up and get my master's in meteorology. So it's one of the hardest. Give me severe weather any day. That is easier to forecast than this. So let's go back to timeline. So Friday night, light snow will develop. Then Saturday morning, it will transition into the freezing rain, ice, sleet mix, especially in the southern areas. And when I talk about southern areas, I mean like below Nashville. And you're probably thinking, all right, Mackenzie, we just want Sumner. So Sumner where, kind of sits on that battlefield. Is will we transition later or will we transition earlier to a mix? We are going to get a mix of ice, sleet, and snow, whereas the southern counties of Middle Tennessee are going to be mainly ice. So going to Saturday afternoon and evening, the mix continues. Saturday night, the mix continues. And then Sunday afternoon is when it goes back to snow. And then Sunday night is when the event will finally get out of here. So you're probably wondering, okay, how much time do I have to get stuff done? I would say probably by mid-afternoon tomorrow. I want y'all to be in where you're going to be for the weekend, unless you have to, if you're an essential worker and you have to be out and about, like I know I will have to be out and about with this storm. But I will also be here. I might do my 24/7 live stream where it just does the radar. We'll see. It all depends on if the electricity holds. But alright. Let me. Okay, you're hearing me throw these words out: snow, sleet, freezing rain. So I wanted to show y'all what is the difference between each of them. And of course, here's a little picture of snow, the fun stuff. Sleet is the thing that actually kind of gets where some people think it's actually hail when it's not. But sleet is that little pinging noise you hear that we had a couple weeks ago, and it hurts when it hits you in the face. Freezing rain or slash ice is what really causes really all the trouble and the chaos. So I'm going to do this next screen right here where it kind of shows you. I've had a couple of questions saying, okay, so the temperature is going to be 25 degrees. So why is, when we get ice, is it going to be freezing? Why is it not going to be sleet? As you can see on this little screen where it's that yellowish, that is where up in the air is hotter than freezing. So it's above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. All that bluish is where it's at or below 32. But there is a little thing about this, and this is why it's been really tricky with the forecasting. It's because there's a very fine line. And if, I know I explained it in my blog. I don't know if all y'all got my little post on my website that I went into very much detail, because Facebook and X and Blue Sky only give me a certain amount of characters and words to be able to share with y'all what I'm really thinking. And I want to give y'all the most detailed. So that's another reason why I'm doing this live stream. and I probably will do another one tomorrow with the update. And a lot of the stuff I'm going to show you that the National Weather Service has out is what I got at the briefing at 1 p.m. They are going to have updated slides later tonight, and of course I'll put that on the social media platforms for y'all. And then they will have another briefing that I'll be in tomorrow about 1 p.m. and so I'll give y'all updates. I'm going to be constantly on, so if y'all have any questions, feel free to message me or comment or anything. If I miss them, I'm sorry. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, which I think is everybody right now. So the difference between 1 to 2 degrees above ground level can determine whether we see snow, sleet, freezing rain, or just regular rain. So when you hear me say this storm is about impact and not exactly totals, this is why. Because freezing rain has the most impact. Snow is probably the lesser of the evil. Well, rain is too, but all right, let's go on, because I know y'all are waiting and are like, all right, Mackenzie, show us the models. Just hang on with me. I know this says about 12 o'clock this at noon, so I know y'all have seen the things that I have updated, and yes, it does look like what are we getting? 6 inches, 9 inches, 12 inches, the crazy 20 inches that was, I think it was everyone's Apple weather app that was saying 20 inches of snow. So that has decreased, and the reason because of that is because of the warm nose or coming up that I've talked about. And that is why we're getting more ice. So the ice impacted, which right here, I will go into more detailed about all the probabilities. And you're probably like, why are we not seeing totals? The National Weather Service loves to do probabilities because if they would have told you the totals like a week ago, they would have said 15 plus inches. Now it's probably going to be about 4, if that. So we don't like to lead y'all astray. We want to give y'all the facts. We don't love hype at all. We want y'all to be calm, prepared, and not scared. And I'll go into more detail with this with a different product so that y'all can see. And of course, right here is what everybody is really worried about, including me. And this is why my Concernometer, I don't know, for anyone that is new, I've started doing a Concernometer, gosh, I want to say last year during severe weather. And right now it is a 5 out of 10, and that is because of this ice. And we all know how electricity is in Sumner County. It goes out during a sunny day. So that's the reason why it is high. And right now we are looking about a 50% chance of 1/4 inch of freezing rain or ice. So you might be wondering, what impacts can freezing rain, ice cause? So here's a few things from our, I believe this is Morristown's office. Yes, Morristown, which is all the way in East Tennessee. They actually have this great slide right here that kind of goes in detail how much ice will cause, what kind of compact and impacts that they have. So what we are looking at is these two, unfortunately, but over to our southwest would be more right here where you don't want to travel. I know people have to get out and go to work. That's one of those where if you can stay home, just please do. Bundle up. And I know there was a few black ice accidents this morning, and that was because of the freezing fog. And thank you to all of those that sent me reports. And because of y'all, I sent the reports to the National Weather Service. And the National Weather Service was able to upgrade the dense fog advisory to include us for the freezing fog advisory. And that's another thing I want to talk about too is, and that'll be later on, is my connection with the National Weather Service. Okay, so you're probably wondering, okay, what is the storm severity index? So this is for tomorrow. So we're not really looking at any impacts. So that's why if you haven't gotten anything, hopefully the grocery stores have restocked. I know they were crazy the past couple of days. So if you haven't gotten what you need, get it done by today. All right, Saturday. I know there's going to be an updated one of this in the next hour or so. So take this, I don't want to say with a grain of salt because it's going to be very similar, but there's going to be a few differences. But right now, Sumner is completely in the major impacts except for a little bit above Portland. But I wouldn't really focus on, oh, if you live in that little spot, oh, we're not going to get major impacts. You're still going to get major impacts. All right, so what can you do to get ready? Which I've been sharing this for the past couple of days. So I hope y'all have gotten everything. If you have to get out, here's a few things that I found that will really help: your first aid kit, jumper cable, spare tire, full tank of gas. Please, please, please make sure you have a full tank of gas. You do not want to get stuck on the road during all this. Some snacks, cell phone charger. I actually ordered me a portable cell phone charger, which I probably should have had years ago, but it finally came from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. So I ordered that because I know I'm going to need it, because if electricity goes out, how am I going to be able to be on my laptop to talk to y'all and tell y'all what's going on? So, all right. So if the power does go out, how do you stay warm? Well, close the blinds or curtains to keep some heat in, because let me tell you, it's not going to get above freezing until probably Tuesday. And I don't know if y'all saw what I posted. Oh gosh, was it earlier today or yesterday? My days are running together. I showed that it was going to be like -2 as the low. I believe that was Monday night. I'll have to double check on that. And the wind chill is going to be -10. So, yeah. So after the winter storm, power outages. So be careful with heat sources. Candles, space heaters are a huge fire risk. And another thing is how to stay warm is bundle up with so many different, oh my goodness, I just totally lost what, blankets. That tells you I'm running on 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep right now. I have a whole basket full of blankets. I don't know why I have that many. I love blankets. But please bundle up with that. Even pit towels, you can just roll them up and put them. Because I know I live in an apartment and my front door where I go in has a little crack. And I know cold air comes through that. So I'm going to be rolling up a towel and like sticking it in just to keep some heat on. Please, 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 if you have elderly neighbors, well, check on all neighbors, because this is where we need to come together as a community, is to check on one another, because I know trees are probably, with how heavy ice is going to be, we are going to have some trees down. I know I'm probably running through this very quickly because I want to get to the main part of this live stream, and I want to get to y'all's questions. So I don't know if y'all heard real quick, I am partnering with Weather Call, and Weather Call is where you actually get a phone call from me, and this is really big for like tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. You actually get a call from me saying, this is meteorologist Mackenzie Lowe, you're under a tornado warning, blah blah blah. I wanted to put it on there because you also do get a text message and email for winter weather call, like advisories, warnings, and watches for winter weather. So if y'all want to go ahead and scan that QR code, it is $15 a year, but it is really worth it because you not only get a call from me, but get this, if you're in like a polygon and if a friend of yours is not on a polygon, they don't get it. So it's really cool, especially during the night. But I just wanted to give y'all a heads up. It is an alert system, and it's not where like code red, where someone has to push a button to send out everything. It's automatic, so it always happens. It is very reliable. All right. I have so many different social media accounts: Facebook, I almost said Twitter, but X, Blue Sky, YouTube. I think I even have Instagram. But if y'all want to do this QR code, it's where it'll take you to my link tree and it will tell you, okay, it'll have all the links of all my social medias. So you can just follow on whichever one platform you go best on, or you can follow it on all. And I believe I'm going to do a short little thing on what Sumner Severe started with, and then we'll get to the real good stuff. So Sumner Severe is part of a T-Spotter program that was started with the National Weather Service here in Nashville. And all of us are started as volunteers. Some of us are actually went to school for meteorology, and some of us are in grad school doing meteorology. And all of the warning area of Nashville's office has one, two. I know Nashville guys have about 4 or 5 of people that do them. But Upper Cumberland, I know Anthony is just him, and he does all those green counties that you see. So we all work as a team with the National Weather Service. I like to say we're partners with them because we technically are. We're their eyes and ears because of you guys. It's a team effort between them, me, well, us T-Spotters, and you guys, because we rely on y'all to give us reports. Like, if a tree falls during a tornado or severe thunderstorm or even this winter storm, you can, if it's safely, you can take a picture of it and send it to me and say, hey, Mackenzie, this tree's falling on the power line or blocking this road at East Main Street here in Hendersonville. And then I will take that information and send it to the chat to the National Weather Service, because right now they are focused on the radar. They can't do all like getting reports. They do have one person that does reports and so, but they really rely on us T-Spotters to get reports, and that's where we rely on you guys to give us the reports. And also they tell us, hey, we're about to, like earlier today, they're like, okay, we're about to issue the winter storm warning, and I went ahead and told y'all, hey, the warning's about to be issued, and within 5 minutes it was issued. So it's a pretty cool team work between all of us, and I do believe that is all of it. I am funded by you guys, so if you want to, you can. Don't worry about it. I always have that on my screen. Alrighty, now let's get to the real stuff. This actually is an experimental thing, that program that the National Weather Service does, and I can zoom all the way into Sumner. And when we look at snowfall forecast, we're going to look at different scenarios. This is the expected amount, and it looks like they actually have upped it a little bit to 5 inches. Don't take this as the gospel. Just don't. But because once again, this is experimental. I want y'all, it's just a, hey, this could happen with all the models coming in. So it looks like the more north you are, which is what I said in all my most of my posts in the blog, is the more north you are of Sumner County, the more snow you'll probably get. So about 5.5 let's see if I can, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Go all the way up. So Portland looks like about 5.3 inches. And this goes all the way from Friday to Monday. So this is the entire event. So gosh, is that 48 hours, 72 hours? Yeah, 72 hours. Like we will be getting probably about 5 inches. When you come down here to Hendersonville, give or take 4.7. So there's another scenario called high N amount. And this is, yeah, it's really, you're like, whoa, what just happened? This is 1 in 10 chances of happening. So when, we say for severe weather, oh, we're in a 2% chance of a tornado. That's 98% chance of not happening. So take this as a 90% chance of not happening. But they love to say, okay, this is what could happen. This is the high end. So this is where you get the like 11 inches all the way down to 6 inches for Hendersonville. So it really depends on where that boundary of warm, where freezing rain, sleet, and snow happens. And here is the low end. Oh, so we got some new. Yes, we got some new. Just updated. Alrighty. So here's the low end. I'm going to see if there's any difference with the expected and high end after that new data. But this is the low end, and the low end is about 1 to 2 inches, if that. So all in all, we are going to get snow. Just how much really depends on where, once again, that warm boundary goes. I'm going to see real quick. I'm not seeing any other difference on that. Now let's talk about the ice. Okay, don't look at that. That was the high end, so don't freak out. So here is the expected amount of ice. So we are looking at probably 1/4 inch of ice. And I love how it's just like this big circle. But that's not really much difference. But remember what I said? That in that slideshow, that with the impacts of 1/4 inch of ice, I don't think we'll have like power outages that will last days. I don't see that at all. I see maybe a couple hours. Once again, I'm going to do the high end because I do like to show y'all worst case scenario and best case scenario. In the middle is typically what happens, because I'm one of those people that love to do what if, what's this, like what can go wrong, so I am prepared for what can happen. So this does, good grief, an eighth. Good. Whew. I'm just amazed how much, because I don't think I've ever seen here in Tennessee, because I was born and raised here in Tennessee. I don't ever think I've seen, because I know 1993 had a big snowstorm, and the only reason is because I was born during it. So that, I just told you my age and dated myself. But there was also a ice storm in 1994. And I do remember one ice storm happening, but I want to say it was when I was in middle school years ago. So, but I really don't remember seeing this. But once again, this is high end, and it's a 90% of not happening. So here's the low end. Low end, no ice, which is what everyone is really hoping for. So that is what, because I would rather snow, so I can go throw snowballs at people. I'm just kidding. I'll probably, because it actually, before this, ice comes in, you actually will have that really nice type of snow that you can pack. Okay, I can post this link. I will be able to post it when I get off and all, so y'all can look at it. It's one of my favorite little websites to look at. Here is another thing I think is pretty cool is because you heard me talk about, yes, those are amounts, but the National Weather Service loves doing probabilities. So here is like a probability of getting, let's see if it'll go, at least 1/10 of ice. So it looks like North Sumner County is looking at 66, 65%, and down here in Hendersonville, close to 80% chance of getting 1/10. And of course, then on this, you can go all the way. So here's half an inch of ice. So northern Sumner is 28%. I love really looking more at percentages than amounts because in my mind, I'm like, well, okay, that's 60 something, not going to happen. Unless it's snow, and I'm like, I want to. I do believe we can do the snow. So here's the snow as well, but I don't know if it's going to give me. But look, a 99% chance of getting a tenth of snow. Why is it not? It just not. It just doesn't want to say 100, but it pretty much is 100. And you got 1 inch, which is about 90 and 80%. 2 inches. So you can. So after this, I am going to go to. Let me see. I have so many different. Let me go. I'm going to switch over and finally show y'all the different models. I'm going to do this. And, all right. Once again, this is a program called Radar Omega. It's one of several that I use. I use WeatherWise. I use GR Level. I use them all. So let's go in and do. I'm going to do our HRRR model. And you're probably wondering, what are all these different models? Now, it's actually a question that someone asked me, I believe, yesterday is what are all the different models? You got long range models, which is the GFS, which I'm sure you heard meteorologists talked about in the Euro. The GFS is United States and the Euro, pretty obvious, European. And those run, I believe the GFS runs every 6 hours, whereas the Euro does every 12 hours. And they are our long range forecast. So the GFS model can show weeks in advance. I believe the max is like 2 to 3 weeks. And so let me. Here we go. I don't want. All right, there we go. Go to models. See right here where it says, and they're all global too. And I believe Radar Omega is, I want to say $8 or $9 a month. And WeatherWise is free, but you also have the plus. So these are programs that you all can get as well. So y'all can look at the radar. That's the only thing these are really for. It's outlooks and radars. They don't alert you when tornado warnings are issued for your area. That's Weather Call or Storm Watch Plus. But let's do our HRRR, and this is what everyone's really been waiting for because it's our short range model. And it only goes to 48 or 18 hours. And the shorter one runs every hour. As you can see right here is in UTC time. So we are actually in our 00Z model, which yay, good, because that is the one I'm ready to really watch. And let me get to, I'm not going to do reflectivity. I am going to do, so you can look at all this with different like severe weather stuff. Is pretty cool. So we're going to do precip type for winter weather, so you can see where the rain's coming in, where the sleet will be, well, thereabout. All right, you're probably like, okay, Mackenzie, shut up and just show us. All right. And once again, you can see the time up here and the date. So I'm going to really zoom in. This is actually the first time I'm seeing the 00Z model. So you get to watch it with me for the first time too. So let's go all the way. I'm actually going to zoom out so y'all can see just a little bit. And most of y'all are probably like, oh, what are these colors mean? Well, blue is snow. And that pink, slight pink, is sleet. The bright purple, hot, not really hot pink, but purple is the freezing rain or ice. And the green, rain. So I'm going to zoom back in. And we're going to, oh, it's not going to show me all the way. So it only goes to 7 a.m. I don't like that. Why is it only showing it to me? So we're going to do 18Z. So it shows us a little bit more. Yeah, because it is 7:30, so it wouldn't be all completely. And I don't think this will show us all of the event yet. So this has it coming at 8 a.m. And it's blue, so it's gonna, as I told y'all in that timeline, the snow's gonna come first. And HRRR agrees with that. And then you see that sleep. This is the furthest it goes. I'll post the 00Z model when it completely finished, or if I continue to talk, it might finish by the time I get done talking. So I'm going to go back and do our, you can see all these different, but we are going to do the GFS model real quick. But while I'm waiting for this to load, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in. I hope I can see everyone's. This is like a new streaming program that I'm doing, so I hope to see everyone's comments. If I miss your question, forgive me. So go ahead, throw in y'all's questions, and I'll get right to them after this. Or if there's anything y'all want me to go back to, I can show y'all. I would love to do that. So right here, so this GFS kind of agrees with the HRRR with that snow coming in about 8 a.m. This is 9 a.m. And then you see that pink is kind of creeping up. And then look, boom, there is the sleet right there, the freezing rain and ice. So this is why I wish I had a green screen so I can like point. I know y'all can see my mouse moving, but I need a green screen so I can point. And this is why the ice amounts are going to be greater down here, like Franklin and all down there. Waynesboro, Murfreesboro will get a decent amount of ice. And then you see the rain kind of creeping in. So it continues, and then as you saw in that timeline that the National Weather Service posted, Saturday is basically going to be the worst of it. And that is where we're going to get that mix. And then back on Sunday is that where that last bit is going to be that snow. So I'm going to do I'm just going to let it play out. If I let it play out, you're going to see. Another thing is, I want to go ahead and get y'all's attention. Next week, there might be another system coming in. Don't hold me to it. It is more than 7 days out. Things can and will probably change. Just like things will probably change tomorrow with the storm coming tomorrow, all this weekend. It just constantly changes. So it's kind of funny being a meteorologist because our job is to predict and forecast, and weather is really unpredictable, to be honest. So I'm just gonna let that play. I'm gonna see if I can slow it down for you all. Then I'm gonna go through and see which questions real quick. Do I think the ice storm warning will it already is extended into Sumner? Oh no, not the ice storm. Sorry. Mm, I really doubt it, but just watch me say no, and I I want to say I'm about 40% that it will happen, so 60% it won't. I just don't see us getting that much snow. I mean, that much ice. Man, if I can talk, that'd be great. Just hopped on. We're getting more snow or ice. And that honestly is going to be a mixture, like a pretty good mixture. We are probably going to be getting a 1/4 inch of ice. And what did I say? I'll go back real quick on the website. All right, here we go. Up. Let me go back to. There we go. Go back to my favorite programs on here, this probability portal. And once again, someone did ask if I could put this link for this website on the social media page. Yes, I would love. I want y'all to be equipped with all the stuff I am. That y'all, because this is what I feel like. Because I know a lot of you have storm anxiety. I know I've talked to a lot of y'all about tornadoes and severe weather, which winter weather is severe weather, but y'all just have y'all have anxiety over stuff like this, and I used to when I was little. Even though I knew I wanted to do meteorology since I was little, I was I would freak out when there's tornado warnings. But the more and more I learned about weather and how to be prepared, the easier it got. So let me see. I'm going to go back up to the expected amount. And I do believe this was 4.5. And I just got the alert from the National Weather Service. Because of the temperatures on Sunday, at this point, they are not worried about a flash freeze Sunday. Because the temperatures will gradually drop during the afternoon, we'll still see some light snow, as you saw in that GFS model, that snow coming in at the back end. So, likelihood of extended power outages. I do think there's a pretty good, I want to say 60 to 70% chance, because we all know how, I said earlier, we all know how electricity works here in Sumner County. It just goes off, it goes out randomly. So, even on a sunny day. So, I really, and if any of you do work for electricity companies, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, EMAs and policemen and everyone that's going to be out and about, that has all essential workers that have to go out during all this. I thank you, thank you, thank you for all you are doing. And let's see. Weather is so unpredictable. It makes me so mad on how unpredictable it is. Because I'm a perfectionist. I want to be perfect on everything, but that's not possible. Let's see. Never been through an ice storm. Let's see. I'm going to go back to our. Oh, where is it? Here we go. I love Canva, so sorry that y'all got to see the little behind the scenes. So, a fourth inch of freezing rain or ice is really impactful. It's not the most impactful, but it's from a level right here. It says like 1 to 3, it's a 2, but on like a scale of 5, I would say probably a 3. So roadways would be ice over. It's the beginning stages of do not travel, which I don't want any of y'all to travel unless you have to. So it's just really in. My thing is, I want to tell you, hey, we are exactly going to get this, and it's going to happen this. I want to be that predictable so I can be like, it's going to happen, be prepared. But honestly, we really don't know until the event is happening. That's It's the same way with severe weather, though we can predict severe weather easier than winter weather. Because severe weather, you have the line of storms and all those individual tornado cells and everything. But with winter weather, it's that warm nose or warm area that, as I said earlier, that you can get sleet, snow, 1 degree, 2 degrees different up in the atmosphere can really be the difference on the impact. So that's why I wanted to do this live stream, and I'll probably do another one tomorrow with more the updated information, which I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of differences. I think since we're so close to event and we finally have the HRRR model in the short range model, I think we're pretty much locked down. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Thank you all. That's what I'm here for. I am here to serve you all. I'm here to help you. I'm here to answer all the questions. I've had a few people were like, sorry for this many questions. No, no. Give me all the questions. And if I don't have the answer immediately, I'm going to go search for it to give it to you. And then I'll give you all the information. Regarding weather call, it is based on your location on your phone. So it will travel with you. Say, like for me, I love to vacation in Pensacola. I love the Blue Angels. So if I have weather call on my phone and if there's a storm in Pensacola and I'm in Pensacola, it follows me. So that's why I really think, yes, it is $15 a year. And I know that's a lot for some people, and most people, really. Uh, just how it travels with you. And that's not just the only thing. There's a thing you can do with schools that will alert the school teachers. There's so much with it, and I want to dive a little bit more into weather call. But I know most of y'all are like, let's talk about the winter weather. So it is really like Stormwatch, but I mean, don't you want a call from me saying, hey, you're under a tornado warning? I mean, everybody dreams of that, right? I'm just kidding. But it is not county-wide based. So that's another cool thing is I think I said earlier is if the polygon just has Hendersonville and Gallatin, people in Portland don't get it. So when you do sign up for it, goodness, my voice is leaving me. I'm talking too much. That's my sign. Wrap it up, right? Is the location. You get to pick your house location. You get, I believe there's multiple locations that you can put in for you. So I'll um I'll definitely do a little social media post on weather call, but I hope I answered that completely. And if I don't answer all the questions completely, please let me know. Let's see. Thank you. I'm been up here, gosh, I want to say born and raised in Rutherford County, moved up here, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. It feels like, I can't believe it's almost the end of January. Like, last year flew by. I feel like this year might fly by too. Any tips on staying warm? Yeah, I had a little slide on that too. Here we go. Staying warm when the power is out. As I said, I think I went really fast through this, so I do apologize. And it is on the social media. This video will be on all the social media platforms, so if you want to rewatch it, you can. For those that are just jumping in. So close the blinds or curtains. See, I have blackout curtains here in my living area that I always keep closed. So, and of course, close. The main thing is really stay in one room, which I know that's not really fun, staying in one room. But that avoids wasting the heat. And let's see. Wear sweatshirts. Hey, that's the best thing about it is when it's cold, you can put so many layers. That's why, honestly, I love it when it's cold, but not this cold, because you can layer. And funny thing is, when it's hot, there's so many layers. Yeah. So, and also eat and drink is another thing. Is I know a lot of people are like, hey, go get alcohol